show you how to hold a fire with your bare hand. So, pour water in the container and put some dish soap. Now, here's the thing. This butane gas is a highly flammable. As it passes through the soapy water, combustible bubbles will form. Dip your hand in and get your hand a little bit soapy. Now, scoop up some of those bubbles and light it up. As you lit up the bubbles in your hand, the butane gas burns quickly and the soapy water mixture will not, creating a fascinating effect without too much danger to yourself. And that explains the combustion reaction.
Have you ever wondered how hot air balloon works? This phenomenon can be explained by the concept of convection current. With the use of common household materials such as tea bags, matches, bowls, or any flat surface that is not flammable, you can perform this experiment properly. This is called the tea bag rocket experiment.
I'm moving up the ladder like my playing ticket. Was living economic till I turned busy. I wish I would be going, damn it, how you frozen? Na na na, na na na. People coming, going, box breaking, no hearts we broke.
The burning of the tea bag caused the air molecules inside the tea bag cylinder to move quickly and spread out to take space and be less dense. This made the tea bag produce enough force to lift the ash of the tea bag. Hot air balloons work in a similar way, and it is all because of the convection current. That's 1 minute. Till next time.
Fire has been useful to humans in so many ways, but fire, when mishandled, poses risk, even the small ones. Aside from the readily available materials used to extinguish small fires, did you know that we can put out small-scale fires with a self-made portable fire extinguisher grenade? How? For this experiment, make sure to put on your safety attire, take precautionary measures, and prepare the materials we need. First, extract the calamansi juice. Afterwards, transfer it to an empty bottle and add a small amount of baking soda. Seal the bottle immediately. Now, it's time to test our experiment. Throw the mixture to the small fire and watch how the fire vanishes. Amazing, right? This is made possible because when calamansi juice is combined with the baking soda, a rapid chemical reaction occurs, yielding the product carbon dioxide. Since this mixture is combined inside a container, the carbon dioxide produces pressure and when exposed to heat, accumulates and pushes out the oxygen. The same event happens when a carbon dioxide fire extinguisher is aimed at flammable liquids and electric fires. It takes oxygen away from the fire triangle. The fire, now deprived of oxygen, can no longer burn.
Hi! Let me help you gain a better understanding of the amazing biochemical process of photosynthesis. Let me introduce to you bilangan ng bula. This is an experiment to test the rate of photosynthesis under different ecological factors. To do this experiment, I'll be using these materials. Let's get started! Fill 4 of the test tubes filled with the plant with tap water. Add a tablespoon of lemon juice to one of them. Before filling another test tube with cold water and another with hot. Afterwards, cover them up with a cork stopper. Place the regular tap water filled test tubes in areas with different light conditions, dark, shady, and sunny, where I'll also be placing the other test tubes before letting them be for 45 minutes. Afterwards, collect everything and observe which test tubes produce the most and least oxygen bubbles. What did you observe, friends? Plants need water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight to produce oxygen and glucose. That is why the treatments that are exposed to sunlight produce more oxygen bubbles compared to the ones who are not. Compared to the normal treatments, the treatments with different ecological factors such as temperature and acidity also have an effect on the rate of photosynthesis of the plant. This also applies in real life, how rising acidity in our oceans and constant changing in temperatures are greatly affecting the flora of our planet. I hope you learn more today and don't forget to share this experiment with your friends. See ya!
Hi! Let's marvel at the magic behind static electricity, the transfer of charged particles from one body to another. Ever wondered why rubbing a balloon in your head makes your hair stand up? Rubbing doesn't create electric charges. It just transfers electrons from one material to the other.
Lower humidity and drier conditions are required for this experiment to work. Things you need to do the experiment. Rubbing this cloth against this balloon results in the balloon becoming negatively charged, and when brought closer to this aluminum can, look, the can rolls towards it. Rubbing the cloth against this red balloon and orange balloon will result to both materials having the same charge. Look, they repel each other. Amazing, right? Remember, like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Learning science is indeed fun.
sorry. Kala ko kasi horror. Uy, be, may kandila ka pa dyan? Eh, yung foil. So for today's video, Webs, magpapaikot tayo ng foil gaya ng pagpapaikot ko sa'yo. Charot! Gamit lang yung kandila, Webs! Ready? Simulan na natin. Go! And for the grand reveal, tadan! Yay! Napaikot na natin, guys! Woo! Teka, naririnig ko kayo. Paano nga ba umikot? Umikot yung foil kasi nga yung hot air which surrounds the candle is rising. This is called convection current. As the air heats up beside the candle, it rises, resulting to the foil spinning. Oh, di ba? Ang saya ng science, no? So that's it for today's video, guys. Sana nag-enjoy kayo. Bye-bye!
Rockets, one of humankind's greatest creation. Let us build our own rockets at home and witness the power of science to the universe. Create and design your own rocket. For the launcher, insert the pin to the cork connected to the floor pump. Place 300 ml of water to the bottle. Set the rocket and the rocket launcher on the ground. Continue pumping air into the rocket until... So how does it work? As we pump air into the rocket, we're adding more and more air molecules into the bottle. These molecules generate pressure inside the bottle. Once enough pressure is added into the bottle, the cork is forced from the bottle's opening and all the stored pressure and energy is released due to physical propulsion. And in the case of water bottle rockets, the thrust that propels the rocket is, you guessed it, water. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. As the bottle pushes out the air and water, the air pushes the bottle upwards.
We have ignition.
Boring eggs. Or so we thought. Want to see some exciting experiments? Come on! Can these carry my weight? Let's find out.
An egg's arc shape distributes pressure evenly all over the shell and makes them very strong. However, eggs don't withstand an even surface. This is where impulse and momentum enter. By increasing the contact time, the force exerted on the eggs is decreased.
How old are your eggs? Let's see! Old eggs have more gas in them and less water. Just like this one. Watch what happens. Whoops! There it goes. Want to see some colorful omelets? Let's cook!
Red cabbage is a natural indicator and egg white is a base. When red cabbage juice is added to the egg white, the mixture turns green. Lemon is acidic. When it is added to the green egg white, the mixture turns to pink. Amazing, isn't it?
Wasn't it entertaining? Remember, when life gives you lemons, you just need a little bit of red cabbage and some eggs and it will all be fat egg. Fat egg. Egg! Ah!
Greetings, scholars! I'm Sophia Lindawan of Solano High School, and what you're watching right now is the first episode of Mad Scientist versus Holy Alchemist. You're just a guest. Now, will you believe me if I say that I can lift these cute little glasses without touching the tray? Let's find out. I only need a wet tissue, a candle, a lighter, and a glass. Magic. Enough with this foolishness. Let me explain the science behind this magic. As the candle burns, the air inside the glass heats up and expands, which led to a higher air pressure inside the glass than the outside of the glass or the atmospheric pressure. Without oxygen, the flame of the candle goes out and the air abruptly cools again and contracts. That contraction creates a vacuum with lower pressure inside the glass and higher pressure outside of it. Always remember that science has its own magic, but it is the magic of reality.
Buenos dias, Science Buddies! Welcome to another episode of Plant Experiment! In this experiment, we look at the effect of papaya peelings in the reaction between eggshell and vinegar. For our setups, we have these. Now let's see what will happen. Wow, a lot of bubbles. The rising bubbles are the carbon dioxide molecules produced by the reaction between the calcium carbonate in the eggshell and the acetic acid in vinegar. In this setup, a very fast reaction is happening due to the presence of papaya enzymes. In a complex world with many people who are sour and bitter, we can be like the papaya enzyme and become the catalyst for change.
let's make our own extinguisher. But first, safety. First, we pour this pack of baking soda into the beaker. Second, we light our candles. Next, we pour an ample amount of vinegar into the beaker, just make sure not to spill it. We're gonna pour the CO2 gas onto the candles. Now this happens because the carbon dioxide from the vinegar and baking soda mix takes out the oxygen element from the fire triangle of the candle. Remember that the fire triangle is composed of oxygen, heat, and fuel. So if you take out the oxygen, then it can no longer burn. And that's how you make a CO2 extinguisher. The more you learn, the more you know. Try it for yourself. See you in the next Side Talk experiment.
Is it possible to make a snake out of baking soda and sugar? Join me in this experiment to find out. This is awesome. Here are the materials you'll need.
Let's start by weighing together a 1:4 ratio of baking soda and sugar and mix it in a bowl. Then, transfer the mixture in a glass container to mold it. Now, pour lighter fluid all over the sand. Place the molded baking soda mixture on the very center of the sand and light it up. When you set the lighter fluid on fire, the sugar and baking soda mixture also started to burn. When the baking soda gets hot, it breaks down and produces carbon dioxide. The sugar also breaks down and produces the black carbon. The carbon dioxide gets trapped inside air pockets of the black carbon, and the pressure created from the release of this gas causes the snake to grow. The snake gets its black appearance due to the sugar being caramelized by the heat. Wow! Look at this! This is amazing! Try this for yourself and experience the fun of science.
Do you want to confess to your crush without directly confessing to your crush? Then let me teach you how. All you need is a bowl, some Q-tips, some pieces of paper, an alcohol lamp or simply a candle, a lighter, and a sour lemon. Conduct your first move by squeezing the lemon juice into the bowl. Then, start dipping in your Q-tip into the bowl with lemon juice and get a clean piece of paper. You may write any message to your liking or your confession in the paper. Then, light the alcohol lamp and witness how oxidation takes place as the paper is held above the fire. Lemon juice contains carbon compounds that are colorless at room temperature. When exposed to sunlight or any certain source of heat, the carbon compounds break down. As carbons are being released by the heat and comes in contact with oxygen in the surrounding air, it turns brown. And that's how oxidation occurs. All it takes is a lemon and the concept of oxidation.
Darkness covers the earth as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to spread.
Good thing there's always a light of hope in the world of science.
Welcome to the Science World. Let us learn and see the brilliant facts, discoveries, and forest theories. An experiment to prove hypotheses, as well as to uncover wrong realities.
Hey there, science students! Now we're gonna bring light and color into the darkness.
It's a level up.
First, put 4 tablespoons of baking soda in a container. Then, fill the rest of the container with vegetable oil. In a separate cup, pour 1 cup of vinegar, then add some food color. Add some drops of colored vinegar to the container and observe what happens.
It's not magic, it's science.
When you drop vinegar with the oil, the vinegar sinks to the bottom and the oil floats to the top. That is because the vinegar is heavier and denser than oil. As the drops of vinegar reach the baking soda, it reacts to make carbon dioxide. When the bubbles pop, the color sinks back and the cycle repeats. Till then, bye!
Have you ever wondered how manufacturing companies emit large amounts of heat energy? Want to find out? Charcoal!
Before doing this activity, don't forget to follow the safety precautions.
For this experiment, we will be needing sand, lighter fluid, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and light it up.
As it burns, it creates gas bubbles that get trapped, resulting in a black snake structure that looks like charcoal. Owing to its dehydrating and oxidizing ability, the flaming causes the breakdown and carbonization of sugar. This kind of energy is released by industrial companies, usually causing the temperature to rise. Not charcoal, right? Speaking of charcoal, do you know that we can make a water filter out of it? Oh, charcoal! This is called the makeshift water experiment. Dirty water contains organic and mineral impurities. Charcoal has good absorption and so absorbs these impurities. Who would have thought that the product of burning could be as useful as that to satisfy the needs of people who lack a source of clean water? Oh, charcoal!
In a bedroom, you're preparing yourself to go to bed, but suddenly the electricity went out.
No way. Where's my emergency light. Oh, okay, there it is. Are you having a dark and lonely night? Let's light it up and make it more special with Disco Operarium, an element of discovery. In this video, we are going to do our DIY lava using science. So what are we waiting for? Let's start!
In a flask, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of baking soda and fill it with 225 milliliters of vegetable oil. In a separate glass, we will be mixing 25 milliliters of vinegar and 2 drops of food color of your choice. Lastly, we're going to put it in our main jar, and now, let's see the magic.
It is caused by the polarity and density of the substances that needs to rise into the top of the jar. A convection current can be found in a lava lamp. Because of changes in density, convection currents drives liquids and gases to rise and sink. Convection currents can be found around you, even in the Earth's crust. Now, we creatively produce bright light when we learn knowledge. Alright, finally, I have a way to overcome my weakness. Now, I can sleep peacefully with my lava lamp.
Hello everyone! Our colorful experiment for today is called Color Blast. Let's do it! We need these materials for this experiment.
Pour the milk on the plate and start dripping the colors using the dropper. Use at least 3 colors for the blast. It's time to add the dishwashing liquid. Watch this exciting part. Wow!
Explanation time!
The surface tension or attraction of liquid particles to the milk is high, supporting the dye molecules to remain centralized. Upon adding the liquid soap, the colors move dramatically. Dishwashing liquid is surfactant or surface active agent, which in contrast, reduce the surface tension in the liquid. As a result, particles in milk suddenly move around and create swirls, causing this amazing color blast that we see.
Did you enjoy our Color Blast experiment for today? Everything can be explained by science. So, see you next time on our next colorful experiment.
You probably remember the magic of invisible ink pens, but did you know we can make it with materials found in our own homes? Head to your kitchen and grab turmeric, then visit your bathroom for rubbing alcohol, baking soda, and cotton buds. Now all you need are 2 containers, paper, and measuring tools, and you are all set to take a trip down memory lane with our invisible ink. Pour half a cup of water into the container and mix a tablespoon of baking soda until it dissolves. After this, dip a cotton bud into the solution and use it to write on paper. While waiting for it to dry, pour half a cup of rubbing alcohol into another container and mix a teaspoon of turmeric. Once the paper dries, paint over it with the turmeric and alcohol solution and observe the areas you wrote on change color. But how does this work? Turmeric containing curcumin indicates how acidic or basic a solution is. Curcumin reacts with baking soda, which causes turmeric to change from a yellow to a reddish color, indicating that baking soda is a base. Now we know it isn't magic, but rather a play on acids and bases.